And good evening, everybody. This is Great Cowboys 1964, and Randall Sliper is here with me now for Draft Central for TeamNBSmedia.com's YouTube channel. I understand X is being a little awkward. We've reposted the feed onto X. So if you're looking to watch us, apparently on X, it's going to be a little difficult this week. So Randall, before Bill gets in here, let's talk about this linebacker group and the difference that we have versus what some of the sites have. David Bailey is considered a linebacker for a lot of players, right? However, he's going to be in this edge group, obviously. Arvell Reese is considered to be an edge player by many people, but we have him coming in here as a linebacker. So why do we have these two differences?
Well, David Bailey, first of all, just because David Bailey's in a 3-4 Texas Tech system does not mean that he is just going to be a linebacker coming in. You can tell by his production and how he is. Whatever team is going to take him is going to draft him as a edge because he generates pressure. He is at his best when he's at the front line. Arvell Reese, on the other hand, 2024 he played linebacker, middle linebacker, and weak side linebacker. Now 2025 he moved over to outside linebacker and then some middle linebacker as well. So really his role, Arvell Reese's role at Ohio State, had much more linebacker duties than David Bailey has, and in that familiar system. So I would suspect that all 32 NFL teams are trying to figure out how he fits in the system rather than David Bailey. Everybody's looking at him and be like, okay, this edge guy, how are we going to use this edge guy? Yeah,
exactly right. So David Bailey, he will definitely be in our edge group this year. Arvell Reese, we are considering as a linebacker. And for all those people out there comparing Arvell Reese to a certain guy who wore 11 and been number 1 in Green Bay, he is nothing like Micah Parsons. I'm sorry. There is a big difference here. Micah Parsons did not become the pass rushing guru that he became until DeMarcus Lawrence got injured with the Cowboys. Then he was moved up to the front, and he became the pass rushing guru that he is. Yes, he's a great pass rusher, but as an edge player, he does not know how to set an edge against the run. That's why teams run against him.
Right.
And guess what happened to Arvell Reese when he was playing edge this year? Teams ran against him.
Yeah. Right.
Right? I mean, it's just that's the bottom line here.
He does come well on outside runs, he comes well at that second level, which we'll talk about, which makes sense. I mean,
yeah.
His size, length, he's strong.
But again, as far as the guy who was setting the edge, because he was lined up as an edge player, he was not very good at stopping the run. So again, that's where I compare him to Micah Parsons.
Right.
But Micah Parsons is a far better pass rusher off the edge than Arvell Reese could ever hope to be, as far as I'm concerned. At this point.
Agreed.
And again, Arvell Reese, smaller guy in size, like Micah Parsons. Well, Micah Parsons, you look at the last 6 games of every season, his numbers fell off. They fall off because he's getting pounded. He's taking those hits.
Right.
And you take enough hits and you're not that big of a guy, you're going to get injured. And of course, this year we got the ACL for him, right? So,
it's unfortunate. Yeah. Non-contact, but I mean, wear and tear, it's real.
Yep. I mean, this is the big boys. This is the NFL. And injuries do happen to all kinds of players. obviously.
For sure. Well, the good thing is that linebackers are needed in the NFL come next year, and linebackers are plentiful.
Geez,
And
what two teams do we cheer for that could use linebackers?
we need three. Well, we need two linebackers. I'm not gonna max it out, but yeah, we have Terrell Bernard, Dorian Williams, and Joe Andreessen on the roster. Which Dorian Williams will fit well. Joe Andreessen could fit well, but he's still a back end player. So
Yeah.
we need a free agency guy and a draft guy.
And the Cowboys are relying on DeMarion Overshown, who can be a decent pass rusher,
Right.
but he overshoots his targets sometimes and things like that, which is scary. Maris Leofau didn't get an opportunity to play under the Eberflus system. We'll see how he does under Christian Parker. But
we
again,
have both teams switching to a 3-4.
Yeah, both teams.
Well, I mean,
yeah. 3-4. But as far as their base defense goes,
right? Yeah,
and
obviously,
yeah. Again, we'll see what happens with that because, of course, I'm not a huge fan of a 3-4 defense. I've never have been because I grew up with the Cowboys always playing 4-3.
Right. I think the way that the 3-4 system has been modernized is pretty good in my opinion because you show a lot of times you show 4 front and then you're able to show 5 as well. So you kind of blend a 3-4 with a 4-3. Jim Leonard will blend a 3-4 with a 4-3 and then have 5-man front looks. So I think that's ideal way the offenses have evolved and how you're gonna defend it.
Yeah, which is what Christian Parker is also going to be doing.
Yeah, right.
Leonard, I think he'll use more of a dime defense, whereas Christian Parker will use the safeties rather than the corners in the nickel.
Yeah, no, I agree. He only sticks with his 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, and this means for the NFL draft, for all those Cowboys fans out there who are saying, "Well, you need those corners," really? I think you might want to focus on the other defensive backfield position because Mr. Parker does not like using the dime very much.
Cornerback's best friend is a good front 7.
Yep. So, again, we'll see what happens. I mean, the NFL draft is always going to give us some interesting takes.
Yeah, the cornerback market, because obviously we'll have a cornerback show for it, but the cornerback class is interesting. So it's kind of a grab bag. I feel like all teams can just pick where they want and what cornerback they want because they're all kind of buckets of guys. Yeah. So it's a good class to pick up a couple.
But again, we still don't understand what teams are going to need because we haven't had free agency yet either.
Bingo.
And then if it's the best player available, well, if it's the 12 and 20 pick at 20, Thieneman could be there. Warren could be there, right? And if that's what's needed for his defense, they're going to take the safety.
For sure. I would rather take a safety in the first than a corner in the first, to be very honest with you right now.
I tend to agree with you at this point.
Yeah.
At this point, absolutely right. Yep. So you're going to go to the combine?
Going to the combine. Yep. Yeah. Gonna go out there. Be my first time going there and spectating and watching. I'm very excited.
Okay. So White Castle needs to be your very first stop.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah. I'm serious. White Castle.
My father's first job was White Castle. I've had enough White Castle.
No, that Jeff is always his first stop. Whenever he went to Indy, was always White Castle. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, if it's Jeff's first stop, I will do that so I can send a picture. That is fair.
Yeah. Yep. That was always Jeff's first stop was White Castle.
Nice. Okay, I will do that then in honor of Jeff.
Yeah, and make sure you send Mr. Barnes a picture and all that good sort of stuff. But again, the information that comes out of the combine is only going to give us a partial picture, except for the red flag of medical injury, right?
Right.
I mean, the pro days now, players are doing more stuff at pro days than they're actually doing at the combine.
Agreed. And like Raz is always good to look at, but really you have to hone in on what's important that they do in the combine and break each other apart. A combined Raz is great to say you're an athlete or not, but if you're looking at 3-cone and short shuttle for agility, like what position are you looking at that for? Strength on the defensive tackle, bench press, and stuff like that. So you really have to hone in instead of. And I love Raz. I love Math Bomb. He's an incredible person that does a lot of work for it. But you really got to go dive deeper.
Oh, exactly. So the Chris Ballard highest Raz score is our pick, no matter what round we're in. Mr. Ballard needs to. Well, he did adjust. He did adjust last year.
Yeah. But he's still itching every time, right?
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, if that Raz score is high, well, he's going to be an Indy Colt. That's it.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Who could end up going back to Florida? I mean, he wants out of there, right? Especially if they keep Daniel Jones, which there's been no franchise tag on Jones as of yet, which of course we have until March 3rd to decide. But
right,
if Daniel Jones stays as the Indianapolis Colts quarterback, Anthony Richardson wants out of there. Well, the Dolphins have Quinn Ewers, and they could have Anthony Richardson as well.
Agreed. I either thought it would be Anthony Richardson or Malik Willis because they, basically coached, grabbed coaches, all the coaches and GM from Green Bay. So easy transition for that. But I hate to see a downfall on a kid due to injuries, even though there was an injury history in college and it happened like that. But I mean, he's electric. I would like to see him get a fresh start and maybe be a capable quarterback, but we'll have to see.
He's just another 1-year starter who was put out in the field way too quickly by the Colts.
For sure.
There's no need to give a kid who only had 13 starts in college your starting gig in the NFL in year one. There's just no need for that. None.
100%.
And that's just the insanity that the NFL is at times, right?
Constantly, yeah.
Yeah. So let's do your linebackers here for us.
Let's hit it. All right, yeah. Number 5, coming in number 5 is Anthony Hill Jr. To be honest with you, when I was doing it, I literally thought that I had Josiah Trotter at 5 and Anthony Hill 4, and I must have flipped them like last minute. But I do like that I personally flipped them. But I love Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas, 6'3", 238. He has 2 years of really good production, had 4 forced fumbles in 2024, over 100 tackles, over 50 solo, 60.5 tackles for loss in 2024. Combine that with what he did in 2025, 1 forced fumble, had 3 sacks and 2 QB hits on this year with, again, 60 tackles, 30 defensive stops, and 2 interceptions. But I really like what Anthony Hill can bring to the NFL table. He's a very versatile utility piece as a linebacker. So whoever team takes him, it's not like, okay, you're going to be pigeonholed into that position. You can kind of move people around to see what fits best in your second level. And that's what I really like about him. He brings great pass rush juice and contributes to blitz as well. He's got under a 5% missed tackle rate, surefire tackler, good wraparound. Diagnose and processing is good. It can be slow at times. He can take better angles, but overall, he's a guy that has all 3 facets. He can cover, he can defend the run, and he can blitz. And there's not a lot of all 3 faceted linebackers that start as a rookie as 3 faceted. So he is my number 5. Number 4 is Josiah Trotter. And I believe I'm the lone gun who's got Josiah Trotter in my top 5. But I'm enamored in Josiah Trotter. He had 14 pressures, 3.
He's number 6 for me.
All right. Yeah, there you go. 3 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, 10% missed tackle rate, but he had 70 tackles on the day. He's quick-footed, agile linebacker, stays on his toes, and you can tell that he's like jonesing for a hit because he likes to hit hard and he likes to shoot gaps as much as he can to defend the run. He is violent when he wants to shed and he wants to rip people off. Crazy good upper body strength. He brings juice to the pass rush, had 3 sacks, 3 QB hits, had a monster game in Auburn where he had 2 sacks, almost controlled the game. Great, probably his top game last year. He's got a high IQ. He's very patient in the run. Coverage is decent. I think coverage is the one thing that he's got to learn a little bit more. But he's willing and he's not too stiff in his coverage. And the best part about for me for Josiah Trotter is he's only 20 years old. So you are drafting him at 20. He's got a great foundation, and then you could just build off it. So you're not. So he's a ball of clay that's already molded a little bit, but you can still mold him to how you would like him to be, which I absolutely love.
He needs to go to a team that has solid linebackers in front of him. He cannot
sure.
He can't be coming in here as the number one guy at 20 years of age. That's just silliness.
Agreed. So like big Buffalo target for me, right? And I would love for Buffalo to re-sign Shaq Thompson and then have Shaq Thompson be able to learn or teach Josiah Trotter and then have Josiah Trotter be able to take over. Yes, I agree. And then number 3, C.J. Allen, 6'1", 235. I love C.J. Allen. He is my number 1 linebacker target for Buffalo. He is a plug-and-play Mike linebacker for me. I think the best, other than Sonny, number 1, the second best plug-and-play Mike linebacker that you can do. He has great length. He's super technical. He's already kind of like up forward a couple steps, in my opinion, than college guys. I think he's NFL ready. He does great things. He's got 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 83 tackles, less than an 8% missed tackle rate. He has solid speed, good closing speed, good in coverage. I understand zone concepts. My only knock for him really is misdirection on running on rushes. He's got to really just be patient and high IQ to understand not to bite because he really does bite a lot. But again, I guess Auburn's very bad with linebackers because his best game was Auburn as well. And then number 2, I have Arvell Reese. Love Arvell Reese. I have him at number 2 because obviously, what is he going to be in the NFL depending on what team drafts him? What is he going to be? Are they going to put him at edge? Are they going to put him at linebacker? I do believe that he I think he does his best work coming from the second level in how explosive he is and how strong he is and how when he remains clean initially, then he does his best work. But I mean, top tier tackler, top tier closing speed, top tier hitter, insane athlete, great length. Pass rush is great, has pass rush moves. It comes with a pass rush plan. His speed to power is great. He's got a great dip around the edge, around the tackle that works as well. Has good inside and outside counters. Good at defending the run when he comes from the second level. He's so violent in there. Coverage, very good at covering the flats, but he could be better at, he really just spot covers, which is more than fine sometimes in linebackers. You just kind of want to be there to make sure that they don't hit that seam and stuff along those lines, but And then my number 1 guy, which may end up when I release my first top 100, maybe my number 1 player in the draft, is Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles converted safety into linebacker at 6'5", 243. The guy's a freak, absolutely freak. He's going to have a 39-inch vert. He's gonna run a 4.45 at 6'5", 243, which is absolutely insane. Sideline motor. He does not quit. He will run sideline on every play. Has great endurance. Fourth quarters, he's always there. Super hard, physical, and can hit hard. Wins one-on-ones constantly. Keeps clean on outside runs. Hits hard. Good in read and react. That safety background really helps him in coverage. He's calm and collected. Knows how to handle it in man and zone. I don't think he's reached his ceiling, which is crazy because he was a safety converted linebacker. So I think he still has room to grow. But the kid's amazing. He will probably be either number 1 or number 2 in this class for me.
Awesome. All right. Here are my 5. I have Anthony Hill at number 5 as well. But my number 4 is the young man from the Cincinnati. I think that he just is the prototypical type of linebacker that the NFL loves.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's got great pass rush juice too. Incredible 6'4", 240 well.
Yeah. I think he will be basically a very solid Mike linebacker in the NFL. That's the reason why I have him in here. C.J. Allen is 3rd for me. Reese is number 2. Sonny Styles. All right. Yes, when we did the safety class and I said that Caleb Downs is all of a sudden appearing for the Cowboys, but Sonny Styles is clear and obvious the number 1 pick for the Dallas Cowboys if they stay at number 12. Bottom line. He
Fixes
is,
the room in one person.
yeah. And if you get Sonny Styles, depending again what they do in free agency, then they can maybe move that 20th pick down to 24 or 25. I'm not going to the to the Bills though. I refuse to have anything to do with those Bills and that. No.
Yeah, whatever. We will trade with you so we can get Casey Concepcion. If you take Sonny Styles at 12, we will take Casey Concepcion at 20. Thank you.
Well, whatever the case may be, right? But again, the Cowboys would need to have a second and a third round pick. Otherwise, day 2 is going to be very boring for me. Even if
we'll be on camera. We'll be on camera.
Well, yeah, but I'll still be bored because there's no Cowboys picks. There's not that's horrifying. But again, we'll see what happens because there could be other trades this year.
Oh, for sure.
I think this is a season that Adam Schefter was right, that trades do line up because this draft class doesn't have the premier position guys that everybody wants, that are going to be a 10-year Pro Bowler or what have you and all that other jazz. So we'll see what happens. But again, Sonny Styles is easily the number one linebacker as far as I'm concerned. Arvell Reese, depends where he goes. I just pray that a team keeps him at the second level.
Yeah, I think he definitely does his best work at the second level. You can tell when he's at the line of scrimmage and the first step into a tackle can get some length on him and just stop him for a second. And then he's kind of more stand up a standing up high pad level for like Arvell Reese at his size at 6'4", 243, you can just kind of stone him for a second. So I agree.
Yeah, absolutely right. And again, because they already have the Obershone guy who can rush the passer, Styles can stay at that second level, stay in coverage because he is very good in coverage, like you mentioned. He's easily my top linebacker in this class this year. There's just, to me, he is just the best one. Now we've also got Deontay Lawson from Alabama.
Great one. Jacob Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, who is just, the story just tells everything that you need to know about Jacob Rodriguez. I mean, this guy basically every time you looked at Texas Tech, he was always making a play. Always.
11 turnovers, right? 7 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions. That production translates. Yeah, that high production means he can do that in the NFL. I love him. It's an anomaly to see where he goes because everybody's going to say, as you talked about, like, don't take the combine at its full value. Jacob Rodriguez is somebody where you should not take his combine at full value because people are saying he won't test that well. But what is on tape is who Jacob Rodriguez is.
And what do we always say? Trust the tape.
Trust the tape.
Tape tells you more than any pro day or any combine. The tape tells you where these players that should be going in the NFL draft and where they will go. And again, if people don't watch these guys in their junior season before they declare and or their sophomore season before they declare, you're not doing your homework. Right. I mean, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that when we get to the edge class, especially with the big man from Auburn. Everybody's writing this guy off.
Crazy.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you know who's another one for me? Michael Kamara too.
Kamara.
He had 9 sacks in 2024. Those didn't go away.
And just had 2.5 in this year.
Yeah, right. But still, combine those and look at what he does on the line. Other than he's a selfless edge, which I love. My number 6 linebacker, by the way, and I'd like your opinion on this. Taurine York.
Yeah,
I love Taurine York. I know he's undersized because he's 5'10", but 232, so you're stocky. and you're athletic for that stocky size. And again, here's another one, right? 2024, he basically all just relied on athleticism because he was an athlete and he would just, I find ball, I go to ball. 2025, he really learned good IQ, good presence, good patience. And yeah, that's why he's my linebacker 6.
And Aiden Fisher from the national champion Indiana Hoosiers is another guy who is a lot like Rodriguez.
Best coverage linebacker in the class, in my opinion, is Aiden Fisher.
Yeah. So again, if you need that guy who can stone a running back or a tight end and you need that coverage, Aiden Fisher is a guy who will get drafted. Bottom line.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if some teams look at him as a linebacker and then even put him in the nickel position for how good his coverage is. And then just like the Ravens, like you're looking for that Ravens Seattle where you don't have to leave nickel and you don't have to go to base at times. Aiden Fisher could be that guy that you could stick in nickel, and he's a line. Hamilton and Emenworry are linebackers. Let's be real; they're not sitting in nickel. They treat him as a linebacker, and that's what you could do with Fisher.
I mean, Hamilton was playing linebacker at Notre Dame.
Right. I know.
But of course, he went as a safety, right? I mean, that's
right.
Again, he's one of these super guys though that can do those multiple positions, and that's what the NFL teams want.
Exactly.
Let's switch over to my running backs. I have Emmett Johnson of Nebraska, who's 6'4", 240. He is a big man.
No, that's my fault. I'm going to get you the actual ones. I must have not switched it over. He's 5'11", 200 pounds. And I will get him. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
For some reason, those did not transfer over to my graphic.
Oh, okay.
So Emmett Johnson, 5'11", 200. I got it right there.
Yeah.
And I will flip it over. That is my fault.
Okay. Not a problem. Now we'll go to the next guy who is the 6'4", 240 guy, Mike Washington from the Arkansas Razorbacks, a guy that you watched plenty of. This guy is going to be that power back. He is the pure power back. So that's why I put him into my top 5. Now here's a guy that we both like, Jonah Coleman.
5'9", 228. But yes.
Yeah. Superb running back. Absolutely a superb running back. I don't know why I have these two guys as my top 2 running backs. So can you figure out why? I have Jeremiyah Price and Jeremiyah Love as my top 2 running backs. Now the reason why I have Jadarian Price at number 2 is because of his return game ability, his punt returns, his kickoff returns. He had multiple touchdowns this year for Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
Did he get to the opportunity to receive the ball? Not very much. Jeremiyah Love did. Okay. Jeremiyah Love, of course, he was my favorite guy for the Heisman Award this year until, of course, Mr. Mendoza took over, and that was that. But again, Jeremiyah Love is the pure running back that teams absolutely love. Is he Bijan Robinson? No. Is he Saquon Barkley? No. He's his own person.
Right.
I don't like giving these guys their comps. I don't like doing that really. As you're well aware, I stay away from comps.
So do I.
Because these people are their own individuals. But again, Jadarian Price in some mock drafts is going round 3. In a couple of them, he's gone round 2. It's like, oh. Well, there's a reason for that, and that's because of his return game. And we all know what the return game means to teams, right? I mean, that's it's 1/3 of the game.
It's super important.
Yeah, I mean, so again, but again, Jeremiyah Love is easily the one guy who will be a first round pick, Everybody else will be later on. You know,
Absolutely.
yeah. Some people have like I said, Jadarian Price going in the second round. Most have them in the third round. Jonah Coleman goes in the third round. Washington, he goes down. He goes down to like the late third, early fourth. Emmett Johnson again is a third, fourth round pick as well. So, those are my top 5 running backs.
I like it. And
yeah.
I don't have Mike Washington, and as you can see, Arkansas Razorback fan. The only reason I don't have Mike Washington, he was my number 6.
Yep.
I don't have Mike Washington in my top 5. My knocks for him right now are his lateral movement. The only way he can run it, he runs well, is downhill. If it's any lateral movement, it's a negative or 0-yard gain, which I can't stand in running backs when it comes down to that. And then number 2 is he's had hands issues his whole entire year, or whole entire collegiate year. University of Buffalo, New Mexico State, and now Arkansas. He's had drops in the passing game, and he's had fumbles. Yeah. Notably, which maybe this might be why he is the number 6 for me, because I still, remember it. But he fumbled away the Memphis game. They were at the 7-yard line. All we needed was a field goal there. And for some reason, we ran the ball and gave it to Mike Washington. He fumbled it. We would have won that game. And then, that. But hands issues are my issue. That's why I put him at number 6.
Yeah.
But we'll get to number 5. Number 5 is Robert Henry Jr. from UTSA. I don't think that's a popular one, but I'm a big fan of Robert Henry Jr. His coach, Jeff Traylor, was a running back coach turned head coach. Yep. So he obviously is learning from somebody who knows the running game. But as a UTSA guy, he has great stats. Let's see, he had over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns. What he kind of reminds me of is James Cook, to be honest with you. He's got some decent upper body strength. So when he for his smaller size, which is 5'9", 205, he can break tackles on interior rushing and still be able to go, but he does his best work outside. Incredible explosion, shoots out of a cannon where he can and find those gaps. He's got good vision, solid speed. His biggest competition was Texas A&M this year. He ended up having 177 yards against Texas A&M for the UTSA team, so that's a good knock for him. Definitely reminds me of James Cook light. And then number 4, I have Emmett Johnson, as you said, 5'11", super twitched up running back, which is incredible. He is super twitchy, sideline-to-sideline motor, really solid vision. And the reason I have him at number 4, other than what you had said, is he's great in the passing game. He runs great routes, has great hands. He will be a huge asset to the NFL for sure. And then number 3, I have my Jadarian Price, 5'11", 210. You are right. The special teams is a big time for Jadarian Price. And he's sneaky elusive. Like, for me, picking between Jadarian Price at 5'11", 210 and then Jonah Coleman at 5'9", 228, was it kind of runs similarly? Like they're agile and elusive more than what their body type is. Like as a downhill runner, they both are surprisingly elusive, and it's very impressive. So Jadarian Price at my number 3, which I do love, and you're right, the special teams is huge, and he's a good blocker, hand-willing blocker. And then my number 2 is Jonah Coleman. He was my RB1 in over the summer scouting, and I kind of planted my flag there, and I'm super happy that I do it. That's 1. Brandon Cisse and Jonah Coleman were like my flag plants that I'm proud of this year. But Jonah Coleman, 5'9", 228. He has 4.24 yards after contact, but then he also has like 80 missed tackles forced. So that's how elusive and bowling ball like he is. And that's why I love Jonah Coleman. He gives me Josh Jacobs vibes, which is great for the NFL. He obviously, I believe he got a high ankle sprain in week 5 of this year. So his production values, he was the leader in touchdowns until he got that high ankle sprain. So that was a little brutal for him. But I think at his best, he is RB2 for me. He's going to be great in the NFL. And then Jeremiyah Love. So Jeremiyah Love, I think we semi-differ a little bit, even though he is my RB1. I have a late first or like a mid to late first, like 18 to 25 is where I would take him. The class is obviously weaker, so I understand that he's getting bumped up. I think that like everybody's comping Jeremiyah Love to number 9 at the Kansas City Chiefs. And like for me, I feel like that's too rich, especially
or even one spot ahead of them to the Saints. He
Right.
goes to the Saints a lot as well because Kamara's probably done.
Right. Absolutely right. Yeah. And I get like he's a very explosive, explosive ride or die sort of thing. He's incredible. I mean, 228 yards against USC was a great stat line. I think he had 7 or 8 over 100 yards. And clearly, as Greg might touch a soft little moment for you, but they didn't utilize him the correct way in the first 2 games. So he probably would have had better stats. Yeah, they probably would have better stats if they utilize him more in the first 2. But I mean, again, super explosive. He's a good hard hitter, and he can break tackles, which I do love about him. My only issues with him is he's sometimes a little too acrobatic. Like, I definitely get that. I'm a little worried for him getting into the NFL if he's trying to leap over some dudes or trying to do a super play, and hopefully he doesn't get hurt. And then his inside rushing is above average, but not elite. And then his red zone rushing is also like above average, not elite. So that's where my knocks go in to take him at like 18 to 25 instead of what they're projecting at 8 to 13. Because like, for me, if I were to compare anybody that was getting drafted around that area, you could look at like Jahmyr Gibbs. They're not the same. They're not the same at all. But Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, was drafted a little higher than he should have. And I don't think Jahmyr Gibbs would have such a hot start if they didn't have David Montgomery next to him. And I do think that Jeremiyah Love will need a Sonic to make sure that he hits the ground running.
Oh, I totally agree with you. I don't see Jeremiyah Love I don't see any of these players coming in and being a number 1 running back today.
Right.
Not even Jeremiyah Love.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're on the same page then.
We're on the same page. But again, I'm this old guy. I think these guys need to sit and understand how the NFL game works, and then you get involved. You slowly get involved. Emmitt Smith was not the number 1 guy for the Dallas Cowboys when he started.
Right. And
he has the most rushing yards in the NFL history. Okay, yeah.
Right.
You know.
And college blocking, among like other than some Indiana or anything along those lines, are running pretty standard blocking for the running back. Outside zone, inside zone, and what else, to be honest with you? I mean, at that point, then, so the nuance of gaps and for running backs is very much different in the NFL, and that's where they start with a slow start for sure.
Yeah. Again, when we talk about a draft class, you're not going to hear us say anything about this year's draft class next year.
Yeah, right after the draft, we'll be doing the 2023, right?
Yeah.
We'll do that. We're going to talk about the 2023 draft.
2023, because they've been around for 3 seasons.
Exactly.
That's when you determine if the draft was successful or not.
Correct. And that's why if there's any Buffalo Bills fans watching, pause on Landon Jackson. It's been
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's a developmental guy. We saw him in high school hit those things in high school to try, and it looked a little silly, but then he was beating Caden Proctor in his junior year. So let's let him give him time to develop. Yeah.
And again, when Caden Proctor does get picked this year, don't go after this kid because he's a rookie. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Maybe Will Campbell.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's after Will Campbell now and that he needs to move to guard, Really?
He also got injured.
What? Yeah, he had a very bad injury, and he came back and played after this injury.
Right.
That is
a lot of work, but it's not arm related. It's initial punch and timing of your feet, but that's not arm length. That's technique.
No, that's technique. And who's he working with? Teron Armstead.
Hell yeah.
My guy from UPBA.
Yeah.
The University of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, for you people out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, again, these people are all saying, well, he can't be a left tackle. And all these other guys who are veteran left tackles are saying, what are you talking about? He played very well up until he got hurt.
Right. He did.
And of course, last year the whole conversation was, well, he needs to become a left guard. No, he doesn't.
No, I mean, his slower feet's really not going to work that well at left guard either. It's going to be the same issues that he's having.
Yeah.
So he's just got to learn technique, and it's the same thing. And he's been doing left tackle his whole entire career. So just work on that.
Yep. And again, I mean, Tyler Guyton is in the same boat with the Cowboys because he's had the injury history. Well, he can't be a left tackle. I'm just like, no, the guy needs to get healthy. If he stays healthy, he'll be okay.
Agreed.
Reese,
we just talked about this. The NFL and everybody, recency bias and impatience is what happens.
Yeah, and
I blame ESPN for that because their topics are just verbally and mentally impatient.
Yeah, everybody has their issues, and guess what? Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl, but they still have issues.
For sure.
They're not a perfect football team. There is no perfect football team out there.
Exactly. Sam Darnold's there's an answer for Sam Darnold. You saw it in the Super Bowl. There's an answer for Sam Darnold. There
was an answer for Sam Darnold last year as well.
Exactly. Yep. And then unfortunately the Patriots made it to the freaking Super Bowl. Now, don't get me wrong. Buffalo Bills were not going to do any better taking it. We did not hit Bo Nix once. So if they were taking it to the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold would have had a clean pocket and would have been more than fine.
Oh, yeah. But again, there is no perfect NFL team.
All day.
Even the 72 Dolphins who finished as an unbeaten team were not a perfect team. Because if you talk to those old Dolphins, they'll tell you they did not want the Dallas Cowboys in the Doomsday Defense because the Doomsday Defense could stop their running game. They knew as soon as Washington beat the Cowboys that year, the Dolphins knew they were going to be the unbeaten Super Bowl champs. And they've said that.
Yeah. And they're still popping bottles, even though they knew that they were flawed.
Yeah. But again,
hey, football has luck. Football has luck.
Yeah. But this year, because of the running backs and the linebackers that we've discussed tonight, and the increased usage of the running game overall, I just say thank goodness.
Yes.
Because I don't care if a guy throws for 450 yards. I want to see real football being played. And that means it's the running back and that middle linebacker going toe-to-toe. That's real football to me. That's,
We'll see how long it'll last, but I agree. Probably got like 4 or 5 more years until it becomes cyclical, and then single high is going to turn into 400 yards passing, and then everyone have to revamp their roster again.
But again, I mean, Don Coryell with Air Coryell, that was a successful offense, but their defense always sucked.
Right?
Oh yeah. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals with Kenny Anderson, they could throw that football, but they never had the guy that could shut down an opposing defense at the end of the game.
Right.
And that's what the running back game gives you.
100%.
So we'll see what happens. We shall see. Next week we're going to do the defensive tackles and the interior offensive line.
Trenches, baby.
The trenches. We're going to have Austin LaSalle from the BYU Cougars on.
Yes. That is what I'm talking about. You did not tell me that. That's exciting.
Yeah. Well, I decided to save that for a little surprise for you.
Save every week.
Yeah.
Say next week, let me know on the show, and then it'll be perfect.
Yeah. But, Austin will be on with us next week. And again, hopefully X figures out this issue with the.
I blame Twitter. I'm just gonna blame Twitter. So
yeah.
Twitter has too many bugs. I blame Twitter.
Considering the amount of staff that they actually have now, trust me, I know, because when I lost my first account at that one time, I got it back. Right. The second time, no, forget it. Just forget
Right.
It's just absolutely gone. Okay, do whatever you want with my account. I don't care. Now there's nobody there.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
They just
So-
hope that we run it. Us
Yeah.
humans just figure it out.
Yeah. you know, it's just totally bizarre. But again, folks, next week it'll be the defensive tackles and the interior offensive linemen. Randall Slifer, great Cowboys, 1964, and hopefully next week Bill will be back.
They'll be back.
Yeah. So everybody take care and enjoy life.